Stefan from Feed the Hungry, and I want to say thank you to everyone who's a part of Revival today. Brother Jonathan, Sister Dallas, all of the staff, volunteers, and all of the donors and supporters of Revival today. 2021 was an amazing year of feeding the hungry around the world because of you. Here are some of the details. Over 70,000 kids were added to the Every Child, Every Day program, and by the end of the year last year, 399,294 children were receiving a good hot meal each and every day, receiving the hope and the love and the light of the gospel through the church partners that we work with across 24 nations. You made that happen. Over 165 ocean freight containers were sent out around the world through Feed the Hungry efforts because of your support. Each one of those containers, 40 feet long, 8 feet wide, 8 to 10 feet high, each carrying 22 tons of food to answer the prayer of those who are crying out, Lord, give us this day our daily bread. Over 22 million pounds of food sent out in Jesus' name to bring the hope of the gospel in deed and in word to those that were suffering. And you know, we've said it for many years, our founder said it for many years, food is a little key that opens up great big doors. And along with the food that went out in 2021 because of your support, because of your partnership, because of your prayers, over 160,000 pieces of gospel literature, Bibles in Spanish and English and French, red letter gospels in a variety of languages, children's adventure New Testaments specifically made to teach kids the Word of God and help them grow in their faith, Reach for Life New Testament specifically targeting young adults and college-age kids that need the hope of security and certainty in this very uncertain world in which we live. The Word of God went out with every morsel of food to bring eternal life and eternal hope and eternal change to the souls that were fed. Thank you for feeding the hungry in body, soul, and spirit, for being the hands and feet of Jesus to answer the cry of the poor who pray, Lord, give us this day our daily bread. You've ministered to the whole man. You've preached the gospel in word and deed. Proverbs 22:9 is your blessing. The generous will himself be blessed, for he shares his bread with the poor. God bless you, and may the Lord abundantly meet every one of your needs in 2022 in Jesus' name.
Byron! Oh no!
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Crypto Friday here on Check the Market. How's everybody doing? Markets got hammered yesterday. Dow Jones down 638 points, NASDAQ down 345, and the S&P down 97 points. So it's looking like we got some discount stocks that we'll be able to buy here soon. Futures are down today as well, so we'll see how the week ends, but we could potentially see some good discounts on some stonks that we want to buy. How's your portfolio looking? Excellent?
It's prime,
good.
To be honest.
Good. How's everybody doing? Lyric, Ninja, Michael, Charles, good morning. David, Wayne, Lisa. Welcome, everybody. Make sure you share the broadcast. We got some economic news that came in this morning. CPI and whatnot. January 6th news. I saw that was all over the place.
Did you watch it?
No, I'm not watching that.
I sat through the whole thing.
You did?
I did.
Wow.
It was burning my eyes and ears.
Wow. No, I
brutal.
I couldn't do that. It's a little much for me.
It was much for everybody, I think.
All right, what you got for us?
Let's check. From Joel Pollack, January 6 committee hearings just played audio of Trump praising the crowd at his rally as peaceful and full of love over footage of the rioters as if he were commenting on that. Pure demagoguery and show trial propaganda. This is not how America works. Complete travesty. So, like I said, sat through the whole thing and they were showing specifically edited clips. Like it was going through some sort of documentary, very biased documentary, whether on the right or the left.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and it's ridiculous because there's no real people, conservative people on this committee.
Yeah.
There's Liz Cheney and there's Adam Kinzinger, and then everybody else is Democrat. Like it was very
partisan.
It's very partisan,
Yeah.
and it's like they basically tried to impeach Trump twice. This is like the kangaroo court to try and resurrect that whole issue yet again by different means. So it was really brutal, but it's a complete travesty. Next. The two worst humans on the planet. I am not going to totally disagree, but it's like Botox Island, so go for it.
Hey everyone, bonjour tout le monde. I'm in California today with Governor Newsom.
Trying to be relevant,
we're signing an agreement to make sure
angle?
we continue the deep partnership we've had on fighting climate change, on protecting our environment, in creating good green jobs, and moving forward in ways that really matter to people. C'est un grand plaisir de pouvoir travailler si proche avec la Californie sur les enjeux qui sont importants pour les Canadiens. Governor Newsom, talk about this partnership.
Well, désolé, je ne parle français. But you don't have to speak the same language to understand that we're all in this together. Divorce is not an option. And so we're here on the issue that extends, I think, a global consciousness, and that's the issue of climate change. And you're in a state where we're experiencing the extremes, and so we're on the leading and cutting edge of not only dealing with the realities of it, but also the opportunities. And that's why it's so wonderful to have you down here, Prime Minister, to focus on those partnerships and the opportunity of dance together.
We only build a better world if we're doing it together, and gathering like-minded partners like California and Governor Newsom is the way that we make this better future a reality for everyone. Je suis très content de tout le travail qu'on est en train de faire. On va continuer de le faire. Ensemble, on avance. Merci.
So much Botox.
Merci.
Merci.
Merci. Au revoir.
Au revoir. What's stupid is Trudeau flew down there on a private plane.
He did?
He did.
Why didn't he fly Air Canada?
Why didn't he fly Air Canada? Nobody else
Or
can fly Air
WestJet.
Canada. And the kicker for me is he's speaking French, and there's like just a small segment of the population who actually understands French in Canada. So I think it's hilarious. And also the relatability of, doing the whole, I'm holding my camera and talking. I think it's...
Brennan's just said, how does it look so bad when iPhones exist? It's probably because they don't have iPhones. I guarantee you they still use Blackberries.
No, Government of Canada transitioned to iPhones 5 years or so ago.
Oh, they did?
They did. I don't know about the PM, but I know that the majority of MPs
Because
did.
a ton of them were using Blackberries for a long
time. Yeah, contracts, right?
Yeah.
You gotta fulfill those contracts.
Well, they're more secure because they have like control over whatever, privacy, whatever.
But then
I like
iPhone.
Governor Newsom's hand signals too. It reminds me of that
behind the camera, he's
episode
going like
from,
this, like.
What's that movie called? Talladega Nights.
No idea.
You haven't seen that one with
I've seen
Ferrell,
nothing.
Where he's like, I'm not quite sure what to do with my hands. It's a great movie. All right,
Yeah.
next.
Cool. Former House representative pleads guilty for ballot stuffing for Democrats in 5 elections. Not gonna read the whole thing, but let's check out what they say. Michael Ozzie Meyer, 79, pleaded guilty on Wednesday to charges of conspiracy to deprive voters of civil rights, bribery, obstruction of justice, falsification of voting records, and conspiring to illegally vote in a federal election. Myers paid Philadelphia election officials upwards of $5,000 per election to add fraudulent votes on voting machines, a practice called ringing up votes, and to falsify certifying the voting machine tallies were accurate. Carried out in Between 2014 all the way through 18 elections in Philadelphia, the scheme benefited candidates for federal, state, and local offices, including judicial candidates. According to the FBI, Myers solicited payments from candidates in the form of cash or checks, with some labeled as consulting fees. There you go. Michael Knowles. Nope, sorry, this is impossible. I have been reliably informed by the very credible establishment media that Democrats never stuff ballot boxes to steal elections, especially in Pennsylvania. So, there you go. Yet another guy, another bad dude caught. Too late, I think, but
That's
know.
insane. But
It's
then
crazy.
again, it is Philadelphia.
It's Philadelphia. Anything can happen in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's Philly.
Next. Violent. Woke. Okay, so this is the war on words continues. Woke researchers call for term morbidly obese to be banned because it's offensive. See it. Calling the fattest category of people morbidly obese is offensive, woke researchers said today, and they urged doctors and scientists to stop referring to unsuccessful attempts to losing weight as failures. Terms used moving forward should include ineffective or insufficient weight loss, or even secondary weight regain. No specific suggestions are given to replace the words morbid, however severe is often used instead. Critics today slammed the recommendation published in a leading obesity journal, saying it was odd given morbid obesity is a clinical term. Continue. Is there more?
We need to get rid of government grants,
Seriously.
right?
Government grants, I've seen them used in such disgusting ways.
Like this.
Like
Like
to fund,
research for what? To change language?
To change
Get outta
language.
here. We need to get rid of government grants, unless there's, a good... No.
infrastructure. Like,
You know
if you're
what?
talking about infrastructure, if you're talking about
Even
specific
then,
things.
that should just be paid for. Like grants for research and stuff like that should come from private sector,
Oh, I totally agree with that.
or if it's the government, it should be something that is voted on. Because stuff like this, are you
Totally.
kidding me?
Yes. I agree with that. It's like Dr. Fauci with his beagles and flies experiments.
Yes.
All that kind of crap. Crap is what it is. Next. From Aaron Carity, MD, new levels of systematic mendacity. Sudden adult death syndrome, SADS, is not a thing. These are cardiac deaths. Stop pretending we don't know why they are elevated. Just stop. Enough of this. It's only a mystery if you're blind. It's from the Daily Mail. Sudden deaths of young people proving a mystery for doctors. We won't read it, but this is out of Australia. They're running cover for Big Pharma, essentially. And they think we're stupid. We ain't. Next. From 5 Times August, rewriting classic kids songs with a drag queen theme for ages 1 to 7, lazy and gross propaganda tool for grooming kids, available now on Amazon. So these are two of the most popular, if you're a drag queen and you know it. And then the second one is called The Hips on the Drag Queen Go Swish, Swish, Swish. Yeah, and 1 through 7 years old for customers, or from customers. These are two of the most popular in 2020, end of 2021 through 2022 books in kids' classrooms and libraries at schools. So it says, if you're a drag queen and you know it, by Lil Miss Hot Mess and Olga de Dios Ruse. I loved Little Miss Hot Messes, the hips. Ugh, I don't want to read it. It's, you get the point. Just gross. Next. All right, from Miles Chong, the narrative has fallen apart. Even MSNBC says Trump wasn't responsible for the attack on the Capitol. Go for it.
Just the key point that yes, there was a pro-Trump rally at which the president spoke, and we can absolutely talk about all the things the president said there. But the idea that that rally is the thing that got out of hand and that somehow resulted in the breaching of the Capitol, that rally was very far from the Capitol. Yep. And the people who, as you say, did the initial
Rachel
breach
Maddow.
that allowed everybody
What
else to
happened
come
to her?
in,
Did
they
she get
never
hit
even
over
went to
the
that
head?
rally.
I
something.
don't know. I wanted to try and find the whole clip.
Yeah.
Because it's like, did she just go on like slam? Because often they'll like say some sort of truth, and then they'll just completely counter it with something else. So I want to find the other part of the clip because I think it's important to see. But the fact that she even said that,
Yeah.
which like we stated last night, CTN, is that Amy Kramer is the one who started Stop the Steal, the OG group. Then Ali Alexander came along, did a spin-off group for the same day, tried to take over the permit of Amy Kramer's group. Couldn't do that, wasn't successful, was denied access to the original Stop the Steal rally, which is where Trump was actually presenting, gave his speech, and then he left because Stop the Steal then ended.
Yeah.
But the spin-off group continued on with their shenanigans.
I see.
So that then now Ali Alexander has gone and is working with the Jan 6 committee, handing over all these private communications and slamming Trump. And way back when, intelligence was saying that they're going to utilize Ali's testimony and all of his connections, everything he collected over his time in the spin-off, up to in the execution of it, they're going to use that to go after Trump. And now they're doing the exact thing that they said they're going to do. So it's a bunch of shenanigans and it's a sham. So whatever. Thought you should know. Next.
Sounds good. Inflation rose 8.6% in May, the highest since 1981. Thank you, Jimmy Carter. Or should I say, Joe Biden?
Don't you think Trump had something to do with this, though? Like, with his insane spending.
He didn't turn off the printing press.
He didn't.
And there is a graphic somewhere in there where it shows, basically. Yeah, we'll get to it. Inflation accelerated further in May, with prices rising 8.6% from a year ago for the fastest increase since December 1981, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported Friday. The Consumer Price Index, a wide-ranging measure of goods and services, prices increased even more than the 8.3% Dow Jones estimate. Excluding volatile food and energy prices, so-called core CPI was up 6%, slightly higher than the 5.9% estimate. On a monthly basis, headline CPI was up 1%, while the core rose 0.6% compared to respective estimates of 0.7 and 0.5%. Surging shelter, gasoline, and food prices all contributed to the increase. Continue. Energy prices broadly rose 3.9% from a month ago, bringing the annual gain to 34.6%. Within the category, fuel oil posted a 16.9% monthly gain, pushing the 12-month surge to 106.7%. That's a nice little gain there.
No kidding.
Shelter costs, which account for about 1/3 of the weighting on CPI, rose 0.6% for the month and are now 5.5% higher from a year ago. Finally, food costs climbed another 1.2% in May, bringing the year-over-year gain to 10.1%. Those escalating prices meant workers took another pay cut during the month. Real wages, when accounting for inflation, fell 0.6% in April, even though the average hourly earnings rose 0.3%. On a 12-month basis, real average hourly earnings were down 3%. Continue. It's all good. I don't know if it was this one, Brennan. It might be the next one. Gasoline prices versus Biden's approval rating.
Oh, I gotta screenshot that. Dang.
So there's the Real Clear Politics Joe Biden job approval. So that's from Real Clear Politics. It's not like,
it's not a conservative
it's not
anything.
OANN or whatever,
Yeah.
where it would be, negative 15% or something. This is actually, from, I would say center left.
Oh, yes, very
Right?
much so.
Real Clear Politics?
Yes.
Daily national average for gasoline prices, regular unleaded. Look at that. Correlation. That one spike there in March. That is the so-called Putin price hike there, but it dropped a little bit again and then it kept going up. So even if you take that blip out, it's still, even if you took Russia out of it,
Yeah.
it would have still gone up. Continue.
Oh, markets are open.
Markets are open. Well, we're down another 500 points on the Dow.
What?
469 points on the Dow, 195 points on the NASDAQ, and 63 points, right down 1.5% across all the indices. Oil is down 0.82 or 0.6% to $120 a barrel. Crypto market's down 2.12%. Bitcoin is down to 29,387. Ethereum 1716. It's been trading almost in like a range though, in that like
Really?
$29,000 to $30,000 range. XRP's down to 39 cents. Cardano's down 8.56%. Solana's down 5.61%. Dogecoin down 4.32%. Avalanche down 8%.
Wowza.
Just an opportunity to buy though.
So positive, Pat.
Well, you gotta be.
You gotta be.
I'm not gonna freak out over this, you know? There's no need. You always gotta stay calm in these situations.
You do. Not be like my brothers and freak out and sell everything.
You can't.
You can't do that. Don't be my brothers.
No, if you're already holding something, just hold it.
Just hold
at
it.
this point.
Yeah.
You know, what are you gonna do if you sell, you know, something was worth 5,000, now it's worth 500. What's that $500 gonna do for you?
It's true.
Just keep it in there.
Just keep it.
Might come back. If it goes to zero, well,
It goes to zero.
goes to zero. All right, next. Mortgage rates back up again, and home buyers call it quits.
Yes.
Which is also something that I don't understand 100%. Mortgage rates are back up again this week after 3 straight weeks of declines. The rate on the 30-year fixed mortgage hit 5.23%, up from 5.09% last week, according to Freddie Mac. Tracking the 10-year Treasury yield, which spiked near 3% as investors scrambled ahead of a key inflation reading on Friday. Persistently high rates coupled with the continued shortage in homes for sale are squeezing home buyers, with many of them calling it quits on purchasing a house. We've seen a lot more cancellations recently than we've had in the years prior. Lizzie Huffer, Chief Experience Officer and Mortgage Broker at Cross Country Mortgage in Arizona, told Yahoo Money, "People are hesitant to make a decision to purchase, but for the most part, we still have a lot of activity in the buyer's market." Continue. Home buyer confidence is eroding. Brief pullback in rates in recent weeks did little to sway price-rattled buyers. Now, as rates rise again, the signs of a quickly cooling market continue to add up. Volume of purchase mortgage applications declined 18% from 1 week prior on a seasonally adjusted basis, and was 21% lower than the same week a year ago, according to the latest Mortgage Bankers Association survey. There was a graphic in that one. Do we have that one in that article? Nationwide, 60.7% of home offers by Redfin agents registered some competition in April, the lowest rate since 2021, and the second consecutive monthly decline in bidding war activity. But if you look at a lot of these charts, you know, I think people get used to the incredible returns that they were getting in 2020 and 2021. And so if it does go down, because look at that right there. That's the chart. You pull it up. That's the chart right there from U.S. mortgage rates starting at 2000, right? At 2000, it was at 8%.
Wow.
Then you go to 2008, you see how we had that mortgage crash, that like little gray shaded area in there. That's the financial crisis, the 2008 financial crisis. But you look at that, the rates dropped to slightly below 5%. So they dropped from 6.5% all the way down to 5 point something. But that's when the Fed turned on the printing press. So you see how it's almost like a gradual decline in interest rates for no, you know, with quantitative easing and all of that. That's just like the Fed turning on the printing press, and that's why the market has cranked, because there's all this free money. And now that they're stopping that, interest rates are going back up. But if you look at even before the 2000s, there was rarely ever a time when mortgage rates were less than 5%. Because for you to get a 2% interest rate, that's incredible.
That's
2.5, 3%. That's an incredible interest rate to be paying on a loan. And now it's just going back to, you know, almost like a normal level, and people are freaking out. And so it's something that I guess over the last, what was that, 10 years? 10, 12 years, that the U.S. consumer has gotten used to such low rates that now if rates are going up again, it's, you know, It's not something that the U.S. consumer is used to.
Do you think it's because it's a whole new generation of home buyers that have been looking?
Yes.
And it's okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of millennials, even
Yeah.
some Gen Zers that are looking at it, and they grew.
It's not what their parents
It's
told
not
them.
what their parents
what
told
they
them.
experienced.
It's since 2008. 2008 is when I went to college, and
Okay.
so 2008 is when I first came to the United States, and all I ever saw was 4%, 3%,
Right.
4%, 3% for mortgage interest rates, and so that's what's in your mind.
Yeah.
And so when you see 5% psychologically,
Freak
that
out.
does something to you.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's not that. It's not that big of a deal. It's almost going back to the normality of the early 2000s and even the 1990s and the but then the 80s and 70s you had astronomical rates like 12%,
Yeah,
10%
crazy. Yeah.
when Jimmy Carter was in office. Joe Biden's spiritual father. Continue. And a record low share of Americans reported it's a good time to buy a home in May, according to Fannie Mae's index measuring home purchase sentiment, while 79% of respondents said it's a bad time to buy. I think over the last 2 years it was almost a bad time to buy because it was a seller's market and not
Yeah.
a buyer's market. Maybe we'll see a buyer's market again, where it's going to go down and then it'll be better for buyers, even though rates might be up slightly. Continue. 5 things to do before you're 5. Learn the alphabet. That's good. Invest $500,000. Wow.
That's doable.
Simplify
That's
your
doable.
wardrobe. Establish your network and eliminate nap time.
No, nap time is essential
Yes.
for success. Don't do the last one, kids. Everything else.
Next.
Oh no.
Idris Elba said, sometimes there wasn't, sometimes there was. Phew. Wow. That is, yes.
Deep. Wow.
This is good stuff. Next. Oil stock trade is too obvious, says this fund manager who expects a pullback in prices. Matthew Tuttle said he would buy Occidental Petroleum on a dip. I would too. I think that Occidental is a good company. Continue. Investors' memory can be short. The same can be said for those of stock traders. Matthew Tuttle sees the oil stock trade as too obvious, even though it's one of the few areas that have been working out well for stock traders recently. During an interview before the market opened June 9th, Tuttle said he expects a pullback for shares of oil producers because everything right now is priced for oil well over $100 a barrel. He holds some shares in Energy Select Sector SPDR Fund XLE because we think we need exposure to the area. He said then again he believes the oil trade is overextended, that there are better stocks to own than ExxonMobil and Chevron, which is basically what you're getting in XLE. Since they make up 43% of the ETF's portfolio, he also has a small position Occidental within the FOMO ETF, which he manages. Continue. Occidental Petroleum is favored by Warren Buffett, CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, which has built up a sizable positions in the company's stock, which everybody was oh well, Buffett's done. He doesn't know what he's talking about anymore.
Yeah.
When Cathie Wood and all these other fund managers were making tons of money, they were saying that Buffett's done. But now that the market's going down, Buffett's actually doing pretty well this year with his value stocks and things like that compared to like Cathie Wood and others. Tuttle is CEO of Tuttle Capital Management of Greenwich, Connecticut, which has about 750 million assets under management. He's made quite a splash over this year with the Tuttle Capital Short Innovation ETF, SARC, which is designed to move in the opposite of the ARC Innovation ETF, which is Cathie Wood's ETF. Before going further, let's refresh our memories with a 10-year price chart for West Texas Intermediate crude oil based on continuous forward month price contacts compiled by FactSet. Cordelia, value stocks. Value stocks is stocks that people don't, usually look at. So it would be like a Walmart, for example, or Coca-Cola, or companies like that are slightly boring. Companies that are valued less than the overall market, things like that. That's what we would consider a value stock, something that you can get in that's been going up for a long time and that'll continue to to do well, even if there's a downturn, versus like tech stocks. Even though I would consider possibly even some tech stocks value stocks, because they'll be around for a long time. But it's more of like the boring side of investing versus like the flashy biotech stocks or tech stocks or things like that you can make a lot of money very quickly. And value stocks is more just like, I'm going to put a little bit of money in this stock every single month over the next 50 years. That's how Warren Buffett made his money. That's how he got wealthy. Versus, I'm going to put 10K in this stock and I know it's, going to 1,000x overnight, and then I'm going to be a billionaire. So, yeah. Glad you enjoyed the show. Thanks for tuning in. Gerald, what's up? Look at that. My mother-in-law's watching too. Kathy, good morning to you.
Oh, I like her.
I do too.
She's awesome.
Next.
Bob's pretty good too.
He is. Bob's a great guy.
He's cool.
Although I doubt he's watching. Facebook rethinks new deals and publishers stand to lose millions in payments. So this is probably something, as companies, with there being more sentiment of recession, which I don't know if there's going to be a recession. I've read articles on both opinions, and we'll see. It's more of like a we'll see what happens kind of situation, because there are things that throw a wrench into stuff.
It's
and
true.
Then you don't know what's going to happen. So Facebook rethinks news deals, and publishers stand to lose millions in payments. Social media company, you might like this one too. Social media company pays more than $10 million a year to a handful of news organizations to feature their content on its news tab, which they now might stop.
Interesting.
Continue. Meta platform is re-examining its commitment to paying for news, people familiar with the matter said, prompting some news organizations to prepare for a potential revenue shortfall of tens of millions of dollars. The company has just paid an average annual fees of more than $15 million to the Washington Post, just over $20 million to the New York Times, and more than $10 million to the Wall Street Journal, according to people familiar with the matter. The journal fee is part of a broader Facebook news deal largely negotiated by parent company Dow Jones, including annual compensation worth more than $20 million. People familiar with the partnership said.
How many times do I have to say that in one part of the article? It's 3 times.
Yes, I guess.
People familiar with the situation.
People familiar. That's a Wall Street Journal thing.
Yeah, it is.
And a New York Times.
It's so annoying.
Sources say.
Sources say.
People familiar say.
Experts.
Yeah. Doug says the Schiller PE is 31, which indicates a depression. You need to be invested in commodities. I agree, you need to have some commodities, but how much further would commodities go up? I know that gold and silver hasn't gone up, but that's mainly because the markets are just slightly manipulated.
Slightly?
I wouldn't see they're fully manipulated. When do you believe Russian investments like ETFs traded in the USA will be unfrozen? I don't think they're going to be unfrozen during this administration. Maybe in the next one, but I think that they won't be unfrozen anytime soon. I was listening to a podcast, and somebody said very interesting. This might be controversial, but I'm not saying that I'm going to do this. I'm just saying this is what I heard in the podcast. That Iran could potentially be like a massive windfall for investments.
Yes.
Because Iran has a lot of, has almost zero investment. So if they potentially changed their, if there was a regime change there and became more friendly towards the West, and they became more friendly towards foreign investments, that Iran could potentially be like a windfall for investors, because it's a large company, has a large population, a lot of companies,
and
the majority of those companies are doing fairly well without foreign investment. So with foreign investment, that might do even better.
Yep.
So those would be kind of like, probably not right now because the market's down on everything, and who knows how how should I say this, developing world would handle that. But there are some countries out there that could potentially be great investment opportunities. Wayne says, saw a report yesterday that Elon Musk is interested in buying OAN News. I thought he tweeted that he's only buying Twitter.
He did, but there's always rumblings.
I see.
So who's to say?
He does own the domain pravda.com.
He does.
Which
own
I
that.
think is interesting.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of Iran, Joe Biden thought Afghanistan was a good investment. Violent! So,
Is that why he left all that equipment
I think
there?
that's why he left all the equipment there.
Yeah.
So who's to say Iran won't open up?
Yeah.
Anything's possible these days.
I think Iran is more of a, would be more of a case for investments than Afghanistan.
I agree. If there's
'Cause
regime change.
Because Iran is less tribal.
Yes.
So you don't have to deal with all these different tribes in Iran.
Yeah, one of the guys that I'm connected with over in the UK who follows everything happening with the Iranian regime. They're basically, the regime is currently trying to stack the board for the next leadership.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens there because they have their top runners that they want to install.
Yeah.
But then there's all these other people who are in the race as well that
Yeah. And
sticking out.
There's a younger generation there
Yep.
that doesn't want, that doesn't want that regime, basically.
Yeah. They've seen other countries flourish
Yes. And
once
so
there's regime change.
Even though on the surface it might look like everybody's, toeing the line, underground there's rumblings and they
Yep.
don't want that regime.
Yep.
It's interesting. All right, stocks to research. Let's put up one more crypto article real quick.
We do not care.
Yep. That's for most of our Wall Street Bets fans. That's what it is now. Oh man.
It's too early, you guys. Jeez.
It is a good morning to be short.
Each tiny strip dissolves instantly, killing germs to leave your mouth feeling so clean, you'll wonder how we did it.
My goodness. Where do you find these?
What is this?
All right, let's take a look at some stocks. So yesterday we talked about, oh, that one's interesting. Put that one up real quick. Blockchain firm Edge launches confidential crypto MasterCard. I don't even know how
What?
MasterCard is going along with this. Let's see it. The San Diego-based cryptocurrency firm Edge has announced the launch of a confidential crypto MasterCard that doesn't collect KYC data and doesn't charge transaction fees. So it doesn't collect any of your data and it doesn't charge transaction fees. Edge's website notes that there's no name or address associated with the Edge MasterCard, giving privacy advocates peace of mind.
What?
The digital currency firm Edge has announced the launch of an Edge MasterCard, a loadable crypto debit card that doesn't collect KYC data. Edge revealed the MasterCard on Twitter and told the company followers, 0 fees, instant funding with Edge MasterCard. Everybody can now spend Bitcoin, Doge, Dash, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash instantly with 0 personal information required. Blockspace.io founder Gabe Higgins gave Edge props for the new privacy-centric crypto MasterCard, but I don't know how they went. Yeah. So I thought this was interesting. But yesterday we talked about carbon capture companies, because that's a new hot thing that all these companies and hedge funds are investing in. So I decided to take a look at some actual carbon capture companies, aka timber companies.
Timber.
Timber.
These
are timber REITs, real estate investment trusts. So it's not something, it's something that you're going to have to keep an eye on, especially after with all the news coming out about the housing markets, because who knows, how much timber is going to be used, what's going to happen with all of that, because it's all a little shaky right now. But I just wanted to let you know about a couple of these. So these are actual carbon capture companies that have millions of acres of carbon capturing timberland. PCH, Potlatch Deltic Corp. PCH is one of them. You can take a look at that one. That one is fairly cheap. It's cheaper compared to a lot of them. RYN, Rayonier Inc. is a little more expensive. They all pay around a 2% dividend yield, and it is legitimate carbon capture technology. And I'm sure that a lot of these companies, if they continue to, keep growing their timberlands and things like that, they can sell carbon credits to companies as well, so they can make money on that as well. But the one that I really liked is WY, Weyerhaeuser Company. It's fairly cheap. It's got a little bit of a dividend, and so it's only trading at about 9x PE. So take a look at those, PCH, RYN, and WY. See if there's any timber REITs that you'd like to get invested in. But do your research. And then cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies trading over the weekend since markets are closed. I'll be doing some of that. And if you haven't yet opened up a cryptocurrency account, with cryptocurrencies as low as they are, possibly even heading lower, it might be a good time to open one, get into some, because I don't know if they're heading anywhere. I don't know if they're going to go away, even with regulation. There's too much money invested now, too many hedge funds invested, too many investment companies invested, that I don't think that cryptocurrencies are just going to disappear. There might, it's still going to evolve. It's still an evolving market. But I think you should take a look at those and research them a little bit. So take a look at some cryptocurrencies: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Avalanche. Michael says, may as well jump in the dumpster fire and join the rest of us. Charles, Safe Moon and Luna 2, none of those, just good cryptocurrencies.
To be honest, everybody I know who's invested in crypto, they're always very happy people.
Yeah, I mean, cryptocurrency, what it's done for me is I almost had, when I would invest in the market and the market was doing badly, it's almost like my mood would switch.
Yes.
So, I'd be upset. I would snap at people. But it's because I'm losing money. But with cryptocurrencies, because it's such an up and down, and then you're like, oh wow, this is going to the moon, so you're putting a more significant amount of money in, and then at the end of the day it's worthless. It just
It's just
So if the market goes down 3%, what's 3%?
It is what it is.
You lose 90 in cryptocurrency in a day.
Nah.
So cryptocurrency is a good way to get rid of any sort of mood swings that you would have with investing. And
Yeah, Michael, crypto's the slot machine of investing.
Some of it is. I don't think all of it is. Because there is utility for it, especially Ethereum.
Yes.
If you look at Ethereum with what they're doing with NFTs.
Yes, it's true.
Real estate is NFTs. Breitling is doing that with their watches, where you have to register an NFT and things like this. I think it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting what they're doing.
It's not all gambling.
It's not all gambling, no. Some of it is. Some of it is. All right, if you'd like to invest in Revival today, we'll give you an opportunity to do that now. Here are the ways to give. Hashtag donate on Facebook. Text RT to 50155. $ RTGive for Cash App. Venmo at RTGive. RevivalToday.com/PayPal. We also accept cryptocurrencies. Speaking of cryptocurrencies, if you'd like to donate to any other cryptocurrencies other than the ones that you get with the QR code, you can call our office, 412-446-2332. We've had some interesting cryptocurrencies, some that I haven't even heard about, donated that way.
Really?
And if you'd like to send a check, you can send it to Revival Today, P.O. Box 7, Prosperity, Pennsylvania, 15329. And then if you're new to investing, there's a book called How to Make Money in Stocks by William J. O'Neill. This is one of the best books on investing. It's in almost every investor's, unless you're more of a gambler and less of an investor, in their library of top 10 books. It's, you need to know a little bit about investing to read it, but you can look up a lot of the terms, what they mean, things like this. This book will give you a solid foundation. So we'll send that as a thank you for investing in Revival today. Make sure you tune back in at 10:15 for our Revival Today live broadcast. And then make sure you sign up for our Bible school if you're interested in joining Bible school. We are starting Revival Today Bible Institute, so make sure that you sign up for that. You can sign up at revivaltodaybibleinstitute.com. Apply, not sign up. Apply. revivaltodaybibleinstitute.com. If you feel a call of ministry on your life. And then, what else do we have? 40 days of glory. Make sure you make it out to those. Anywhere in the United States, we'll be doing 40 days of glory, so make sure you make it out for those. Take a trip to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and join us for those services. They're going to be powerful. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. Enjoy this beautiful Friday. Markets are still down. Over 600 on the Dow now. So we'll see where it ends up. This evening might be a great buying opportunity. So make sure you have those lists ready of stocks that you'd like to buy. If there's any that are cheap, any that you're interested in buying, take a look at those. Thanks for joining, everybody. Go ahead and close it out.
Go out there and make some money.
We'll see you. Bye.
Money friends and the CTM crew.
Yes. Crypto Island, yo boy. Crypto Island, yo boy. Crypto Island, yo boy. We are the BOD, yeah. Crypto Island boy, yeah. Crypto Island boy, yeah. Shout out to P Money friends and the CTM crew. Gotta hear from the Island boys, yeah.
Big shout out to y'all, man. Check the market.
All right.